Eagle Casino shooting. 2 people are dead and 5 others are injured. What we've learned through our team coverage.
We're out in Wilson County in front of the Wilson County Sheriff's Department, where deputies walked the suspect right in front of our cameras before extraditing him back to Eagle Pass.
And we're over here in Eagle Pass where it all started, and a suspect who's now in custody shot 7 people.
And healing the hill country is far from done. The Kerrville VFW has been providing relief to their neighbors, but are now looking for some assistance of their own. How you can help. The Nightbeat starts right now.
Live from KSAT 12, the Nightbeat starts right now.
Hi, I'm John Paul Barajas. We continue to follow the latest on a shooting at the Kickapoo Lucky Eagle Casino that left 2 people dead and 5 injured last night. Police have 1 man, Carrion Jones, in custody, and we now know the names of those who were killed. Law enforcement and Eagle Pass officials say they are Mark Antley, a former Customs and Border Protection agent from Eagle Pass, and Alicia Sanchez of Dimmitt County. Now, nearly 24 hours after that shooting, we're still learning new information. Our Devin Karp is just outside the Lucky Eagle Casino where all this began, and our Zaria Oates is over in Stockdale where the suspect was arrested after the chase. Devin, we'll start with you. How is the community of Eagle Pass holding up right now?
Well, JP, it feels a little odd, especially considering the fact this is the closest I'm able to get to the Kickapoo Reservation, as well as a lot of neighbors in the area. They have not been letting people go into the area over with the casino as the investigation's ongoing. But the feeling is a little eerie in town. I've spoken with a lot of neighbors who were in the casino when the shooting happened, and those who frequent the area who say they're worried about what the long-term effects could mean for their town.
A lot of people go there from out of town and all, but we never thought that something would happen there.
Saturday nights are busy at the Kickapoo Lucky Eagle Casino, and this night was no different.
Well, the casino was packed. I mean, everybody, the machines were completely full. Everybody was excited about the drawing on the card. Everybody was talking about the car.
But at 11:48, the sounds of slot machines were drowned out by the sound of gunfire. For Jesus, who was inside at the time, it was chaos.
I didn't panic because I've been in many factories and I know how to design an emergency program. But here I had already seen it on other occasions. I dare to say that zero protocol for a collapse of that type.
A 1 a.m. phone call woke up the Martinezes.
My niece was there playing, and she called us that what was going on, and they have exit to the back door. So then we called our son too, because he used to work there.
And Manuel left minutes before it happened.
It was like around 11:40, I believe it was, that I left the casino. And now I find out today that this incident happened.
Law enforcement arrived to find 7 people shot.
I would like to give my condolences to the 2 families. I understand there's 2 deceased, and hopefully prayers for the ones that are wounded. Hopefully they can recover fast.
2 of them have been identified as Marcus Antley and Alicia Sanchez. The 5 others were taken to the hospital as far as San Antonio.
It's really sad to hear about those families, you know, that lost their loved ones and are the ones that are hurt in San Antonio. I hope that, you know, that they get well.
A suspect, Carrion Jones, was taken into custody miles away. It makes some of these neighbors around and inside the casino feel better, but some are worried for the future. But what concerns me is that there is no emergency protocol. Jesus said the chaos could have been handled with better security, and how this will affect Eagle Pass is yet to be seen.
You know what, I'm going to have second thoughts about coming back. It'll probably be a while, but and I imagine the locals themselves will, you know, they'll probably be hesitant about coming out here as well.
The Kickapoo Traditional Tribe of Texas Police Department is the lead agency on this investigation. They're asking for any help they can get from the public, whether that's pictures, videos, or accounts of what you saw leading up to the shooting over at the casino. We've got all those more details online at KSAT.com. Over here in Eagle Pass, I'm Devin Karp, but our Zaria Oates is over where the suspect was apprehended almost 3 hours away from here, Zaria.
Hey, Devin. Yeah, we're just in Stockdale, which is just over from Wilson County. Now, just behind me, you can see this road here just a little bit. That's kind of where this all ended, where deputies and other law enforcement agencies chased that suspect and ended it here with a pit maneuver. This is 3 hours away from Eagle Pass. That's where that initial shooting took place. We spoke with a family who was there as it happened and who had to go to the hospital to get treated for injuries. And we also saw the suspect today. Take a look.
Do you have anything to say about what happened in Eagle Pass?
This is 34-year-old Kerrion Jones. He's being charged after a deadly shooting at Kickapoo Lucky Eagle Casino in Eagle Pass. A frightening scene, several people captured in the moment on their phone, while others had to run and hide for their safety.
We just immediately covered ourselves and ran back in.
This is Vanessa and her family just hours after that shooting. Vanessa tells me she and her family are safe now, but that's after she was hit with shrapnel and spent several hours at a hospital.
A bullet ricocheted off of my chest.
Wow.
So I have like a first degree burn from a bullet, and I have bruising on my chest. Yes, I was transported from the casino. Ambulance transferred me to the hospital, and I was there I got there at 12:30 and I left at close to 6 in the morning.
A tragedy she never imagined, even while shots were being fired.
Me and my mom were thinking like, oh, they were like fireworks, like usually fireworks. But we noticed that it was not fireworks. Someone was shooting. My mom and my husband had seen the people in front of us had just like fall to the floor, and I had my head down the whole time. I didn't see that, and we just immediately covered ourselves and ran back in.
Running back into the casino as a life-saving measure. Vanessa is now back home in the Hill Country, and that suspect is in custody. This video shows the moment Wilson County deputies transported the 34-year-old suspect from one room to another inside of the Wilson County Sheriff's Department.
Do you have anything to say?
No words from that suspect. That's 34-year-old Kerrion Jones. But we do know that he's facing 2 charges of capital murder for the deaths of Marcus and Alicia, and then another 5 additional charges of assault with a deadly weapon for those other people who were tragically shot earlier this morning. Live in Stockdale, I'm Zaria Oates, KSAT 12 News.
Tragic situation. Zaria, Devin, thank you so much. Again, if you have any information about this case, you're asked to call the Kickapoo Traditional Tribe of Texas Police Department at 830-421-5322.
Taking a look outside with live cam here in San Antonio, it's a beautiful night for most of us. We're seeing that low humidity getting to about 79 degrees in San Antonio right now, and tomorrow is going to be a little bit more of the same. We're already seeing conditions slowly but surely see our temperatures decrease, but today in San Antonio, some of our temperatures did get to the 90s. Take a look at the almanac of what you expected today. We were waking up with temperatures in those 60s, 64 degrees in San Antonio. 91 was our peak temperature, and tomorrow morning, expect more temperatures, waking up in the 60s, but we're going to start to see an increase in our afternoon temperature later this week. I'll break down your week forecast of what you need to know coming up in just a minute.
Shelby, thank you. Nearly 3 months since the July 4th floods, the Hill Country is still picking up the pieces. That includes the Kerrville VFW post. When devastation hit, that VFW turned to help others. Now, the veterans who have given so much tell me they want to rebuild not just a structure that was once their post, but a community space that means so much to so many. After floodwaters ripped through the Hill Country, leaving a path of devastation, the men and women of the Kerrville VFW Post 1480 got to work and started to provide relief to their neighbors.
I probably ended up dispersing close to $20,000 to regular citizens that had damage done to their property on the riverfront, and close to maybe $30,000 to veterans.
All of this while their post was ravaged by floodwaters.
We had about 2 18-wheelers full of supplies inside this building. We didn't even have time to even fix what we had inside the building as far as damage.
Edward Jackson and Eric Burton know healing the Hill Country is far from over. However, the two say it is time to fix and reopen their post, which had to be completely gutted.
There's everything from 4 foot down is wiped out of here. So
our kitchen is completely wiped out, so is the bar. So
in all, they need assistance with rebuilding on top of replacing kitchen and bar equipment. They add they won't be able to do it alone.
It's an uphill struggle for us right now because we spend a lot of time helping a lot of people, and we're kind of now sitting here by ourselves.
If you're interested in helping VFW Post 1480 in Kerrville, you're asked to contact their office at 830-896-3494. We also have that information on KSAT.com. Lastly, Burton and Jackson wanted to give Lowe's in Kerrville and the district manager a big thank you for all the support they have already provided. And some important news for anyone living in the Hill Country. The Hunt Fire Department and Kerr County officials announcing that the post office is still closed. The July 4th floods left only the floor and the foundation standing. However, mail services will still be available at the Ingram Post Office. The Ingram Post Office is open from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. with an hour-long break between 1 and 2. Coming up, we'll take you to Michigan, where another tragedy took place this morning during a Sunday church service. What we know after the break. And later in the show, we're taking a closer look into the city's traffic and how it's controlled. If you've ever felt like you're waiting forever for a light to turn green, stick around to find out why. Tonight, a deadly attack at a Mormon church. A gunman drove his pickup through the front doors during a packed service. Then he opens fire with an assault rifle. And then police say he set the building on fire. At least 2 people are dead and several others are injured. Here's ABC's Allison Kosek with the latest.
Tonight, police searching for those missing after a deadly attack at a Michigan church. Hundreds of worshipers inside the Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints for Sunday services when a gunman opened fire.
We have an active shooter at the church and PD's on scene saying the building is also on fire.
Police in Grand Blanc, Michigan, about 50 miles northwest of Detroit, say the suspect rammed a pickup truck through the front door, got out and started shooting.
That suspect is a 40-year-old male from the city of Burton, who we identified as Thomas Jacob Sanford.
Paula, a teacher at the church, describing the terrifying moments to ABC affiliate WXYZ.
One of our counselors was up speaking, and we heard a big bang and the doors blew.
A fire starting inside the church. Authorities believe it was set by the gunman. Firefighters forced to retreat as the roof collapsed.
I have people trapped in the building. Repeat, people trapped in the building.
2 officers arriving, engaging the suspect, and killing him. Multiple agencies, including the FBI and ATF, now investigating.
The FBI is committed to continue finding out the facts, circumstances, and motives behind this tragedy. I can confirm at this time that the FBI is now leading the investigation and is investigating this as an act of targeted violence.
Investigators say the shooter used an assault rifle and may have had multiple improvised explosive devices inside his truck, seen here at the entrance of the now destroyed church.
Our church is gone. I joined the church 38 years ago to see somebody would do this to my church.
Officials say they are searching the shooter's home just 8 miles from the church and reviewing his cell phone records as they work to find a motive. Perry Russum, ABC News, New York.
It's heartbreaking to continue hearing about these incidents that seem to continue to happen time and time again. Hopefully they get some closure and some justice there. On a lighter note, cooler temperatures in the morning.
I do have some good news. I know a lot of people want the cooler temperatures. It's fall, and we're going to continue to see the cooler temperatures as we go throughout the week in the mornings. And then in the afternoon, still seeing those warm temperatures getting into those 90s. And it's going to feel nice because we're still going to maintain that low humidity for most of us. But we still need the rain. We're still in that 4 years almost of continual drought. But here's the good news. We are tracking a little bit of rain. It is fairly light towards the weekend and even next week, but rain is rain. And even then, we're not the only ones expecting rain. The tropics are starting to get a little more active, so the East Coast can even see sometimes, or for some folks, a little bit of rain. Now, here's what you can expect tomorrow. You're waking up, temperatures getting into those 60s, 66 degrees about 7 a.m. for us in San Antonio. Now, tomorrow is going to be much the same of what you can expect throughout the week. But here's the thing, we're going to see a little bit more of that cloud coverage tomorrow, even through the afternoon. So our peak temperature is only expected to get to about 90 degrees for us in San Antonio, still maintaining the mostly cloudy skies. And then after tomorrow, we're still going to continue to have our peak temperature in San Antonio 90, most of us in the hill country not even getting out of the 80s. So tomorrow is actually going to be a beautiful day for some folks. And even as you get into areas near the coastal plains and near Houston, still staying in the 90s. But like I mentioned, most of this week is going to be copy paste until by the time you get to Thursday. That's when we're tracking a low pressure system moving through. and allowing for at least some extra moisture coming into areas of San Antonio, allowing for us to go from those pleasant conditions to getting a little more muggy, getting a little more humid, but also bringing the rain chances. About a 10% chance of rain as we go into Friday, 20% as we go to Saturday and Sunday. But here's the thing, it's not going to be a big washout. Only some folks are expected to see the rain, and not even everyone is expected to see the rain. So I'll continue to keep you updated. I'll show you the future cast of the rain later on in the second half of the show, but 90 degrees tomorrow, 66 in the morning, maintaining the 60-degree temperatures as we go throughout the rest of the week and even into next weekend is when we finally start to see the temperatures warm up a little bit in the mornings, getting to about 70 degrees with the rain chances, but ultimately still maintaining near those seasonable and those average conditions, guys.
I'd like to see those lows, those 90s as highs. I'd like to see those droplets a little bit more.
Just a little bit.
We're nearing October in the spooky season, and a light jacket would be nice in the middle of the day.
Yes, very much so.
Awesome stuff. Those rain chances low right there, but the Cowboys are trying to rain on Micah Parsons' parade and return to AT&T Stadium.
Yes, Cowboys currently up by a field goal over the Green Bay Packers in what is a dramatic return for Micah Parsons, returning to Dallas since being traded from the Cowboys a month ago. And the Texans dominate division rival Tennessee. How it all went down in H-Town after the break.
That's a good friend that I've competed with in numbers of ways throughout this building.
Once the game starts, who's going to be worried about any trade?
Outside of this building, just excited to go and have that matchup.
It's just me against them 5 men in front of me. Once the game's, ain't no one talking about the trade. We talking about winning a football game.
It's going to be weird. It is weird, you know, because he was here with us all training camp day, and now we know we playing against him. You know, it's going to be a little weird.
Micah Parsons returns to Dallas, and yes, some unfamiliar emotions there from his former teammates in big board sports. All eyes on Micah Parsons as he enters AT&T Stadium for the first time ever as a part of the visiting team, getting the visitor treatment. Now, Parsons was traded by the Cowboys to Green Bay exactly 1 month ago today, and he bolsters a Packers defense that ranks as one of the best in the NFL. Can the Cowboys' high-octane offense overcome that without CeeDee Lamb? Let's take a live scoring update from Dallas. The Cowboys' defense making big plays in this game, and the offense delivering. Dak Prescott, George Pickens, Jake Ferguson, all touchdown scorers, and Javonte Williams just helped Dallas take a 3-point lead in the fourth quarter, and they are in the 2-minute warning right now. Well, the Texans hosting former Incarnate Word QB Cam Ward and the Titans, both clubs desperate to find the win column for the first time this season. First quarter, no score. Ward rolls right, pass falls incomplete as the rookie is hit hard by Azeez Al-Shire. Surprisingly, no penalty as you take another look. Texans defense doing everything they can to give their struggling offense a chance to win. Now Houston able to take a lead on their first possession thanks to a Kaimi Fairbairn 47-yard field goal. And Fairbairn booted in another to give the Texans a 6-0 lead, and it stayed that way going into halftime.
Our first red zone trip today, we got an actual chance at a touchdown.
Stroud on the rollout. Marks has it into the end zone. Touchdown.
The rookie Woody Marks giving the Texans their first red zone touchdown of the season, and Marks certainly making his mark. Houston up 12-0. Fourth quarter, Ward's pass goes through his receiver's hands and is intercepted by Derek Stingley Jr., the Houston defense swarming Tennessee. And the Texans turn the turnover into points. Stroud hits Jaden Higgins in stride for his first career touchdown. And Marks later added an insurance touchdown, and Houston preserves the shutout. They win 26-0. That's H-Town's first shutout since 2010. Stroud with high praise for his defense after the win.
Our defense played amazing. Of course, it starts with Azeez, his play calling with D'Amico. Thought they did a great job of, mixing coverage and stunning with the D-line and things like that. Man coverage was sticky. Kamari played a great game. Kalen, all the guys in the back. I thought MJ stepped up and did a great job. But yeah, I think when you hold a team to 0 points in the NFL, that's big time. That doesn't happen a bunch. So yeah, shout out to them boys. They're doing a great job, and I'm very grateful to have a defense like that.
Okay, it's time now to introduce you to our Scholar Athlete of the Week, Addison Miller.
Hello, I'm Addison Miller and I'm from Davenport High School and I'm this week's KSAT 12 Scholar Athlete of the Week.
Addison is the captain of the volleyball team and was a member of the state championship squad from 2023. She's been named Academic All-State 2 years in a row. She's also a member of the National Honor Society. She's performed community service through volleyball kids camps and officiating youth sports games at her local gym. Addison maintains a 3.9 GPA and is ranked in the top 10% of her class. Addison plans to attend Texas A&M University in College Station and major in business management. Thanks, Addison, for being KSAT 12 Scholar Athlete of the Week, presented by Christus Children's.
Okay, later in this show, we'll have an update on the outcome of the Cowboys-Packers game, also talking UTSA, Texas A&M football, and much more.
And Addison, nearly a 4.0 GPA.
Bravo, man.
Way to go. Thanks for that, Mary. Waiting for a left turn in the city feels like it can take forever, and a lot of people have asked us why San Antonio traffic lights take so long. Tonight in the KSAT explains how our traffic lights are timed, who controls which lights, all of that coming up. And your favorite Starbucks location might be closed when you go into work on Monday. We'll tell you more about the national chain's closures coming up. It doesn't matter where you're from or where you're going, we all deal with traffic lights. And what's the biggest gripe drivers seem to have? Waiting forever for a light to turn green. So are they timed, and who owns and operates the traffic lights? We found out in this KSAT explains.
I'm a very impatient person, so I feel like every light is long.
Trying to take a left turn, and it just takes forever.
Everywhere. It's crowded, all of it.
The traffic lights is not very well synced here.
They're complaints local public works departments hear often.
Yes, we do.
The most common thing that we get is
people are at the light too long,
that they're waiting too long for a traffic light to turn green,
or it didn't let enough cars through,
or that the traffic light is not green long enough.
I think there's two common misconceptions. Is that these signals are not timed correctly. Well, they are. The other is who's responsible for that signal.
3 groups are in charge of timing and maintaining local traffic signals: the city, the county, and the Texas Department of Transportation.
That map represents one of the 1,145 traffic signals that the city operates throughout town. This is the TransGuide Operations Center.
City Public Works employees are here monitoring information from traffic signals and all these cameras.
Right now we have about 250 intersections that have cameras.
Not red light cameras, those are banned in Texas. These cameras give crews a real-time road view.
We can watch to see, is the light operating the way we think it should be operating, and then we have equipment that is recording how long each light is green and red.
SAPD also has staff here, as well as via bus dispatchers and TxDOT.
There's a rarely known code in our Texas Administrative Code that says if a city is over 50,000 population, they own and maintain the traffic signals on our highways.
In our area, that applies to San Antonio and New Braunfels.
So in those two cities, on all TxDOT roads, the city owns and maintains all traffic signals. The exception is any frontage road traffic signal along a freeway.
TxDOT owns roughly 200 traffic lights on local frontage roads. But here's where things merge.
We pay the city of San Antonio to maintain about 130 of those frontage road signals.
In smaller cities in Bexar County that have fewer than 50,000 people, TxDOT owns and maintains those lights. But because some roads in those cities are connected to San Antonio streets, there are exceptions, like in Leon Valley.
We pay the city of San Antonio to maintain those traffic signals for us in Leon Valley just because San Antonio has signals north of there, they have signals south of there, so they tie it all together as one system.
One system with a lot of different timing programs.
How do you determine how long the signals need to stay green or when they need to turn red?
So we do an engineering analysis at every intersection where we go out and we collect data. We look at how many cars are going through the intersection and what direction they're going, how many left turns they're taking, how many right turns, and we also look at how many pedestrians.
Time of day is a factor too. City traffic lights usually have 3 timing programs, one for the morning rush hour, one for the evening rush hour, and one for the times in between.
For some locations, we have even more than that because we have some locations that have like a heavy lunch period, for example, or some that have unique traffic patterns on the weekends. So we may have a different timing plan that runs on Saturday versus one that runs on Sunday.
When lights go from green to yellow to red depends on that pre-programmed timing and motion detection at the intersection.
So, for example, if you have 2 cars waiting to make a left turn, then they will get less screen time than, let's say, if we had 5 cars waiting to make a left turn.
The city re-examines traffic signal timing every 3 to 5 years, or when something new is built, like a new neighborhood or shopping center, for example, or more often, when they get complaints.
On the county side of things, there are far fewer traffic signals. Bexar County operates a total of 62, but that number is growing, including this new signal here at Weisman Boulevard and Tillman Ridge, all to accommodate a brand new subdivision.
This is the brains right there. That's the computer for the traffic cabinet.
This is where that timing is controlled.
There's always going to be a minimum time and a maximum time, which if there's no traffic, it'll just do the minimum time. If you do have traffic, there's a lot of cars, it'll shut off at the maximum time and it'll allow the most cars it can, while still keeping in mind that there's another leg that needs to go through.
That minimum and maximum time varies at every intersection. The city of San Antonio says lights will typically be green 60 seconds on a main street, 30 seconds for a smaller street, and 15 seconds for left turn lanes. 3 of the most traveled intersections in San Antonio are Southwest Military at Zarzamora, Culebra at Westwood Loop, and Petrenko at Hunt Lane. Bexar County Public Works says it doesn't track an average time, but they do know the busiest intersections: Alamo Ranch at Lone Star Parkway, Alamo Ranch at Alamo Ranch Parkway, and Bulverde Road at TPC Parkway. In the next several months, the county is upgrading to a system that will allow them to monitor traffic signals remotely.
We can connect automatically from our desktop and look to see if someone calls and says that there's something wrong. We can actually just log into the system directly and check it.
The county, the city, and TxDOT say the goal is to keep people moving. The timing may not be perfect, and all that traffic.
I'm from a small town of Lubbock, Texas, and we don't have that problem.
It's not perfect either.
Sometimes it's just the people's driving. Most times it's just the people's driving's fault.
You realize very quickly how impatient you are whenever you're at a red light. That was Myra Arthur reporting. Now, what do you want to see to be explained? We cover all kinds of topics. Scan this QR code to go straight to the KSAT Explains page, where you can find all of our coverage and send in your own ideas. The Wonder Theater announced a full season of entertainment with a total of 10 shows. Find out what they are after the break. And stick around because our Mary Rominger has been keeping up with all the games, including the Cowboys and Packers. It's going down to the wire. Also, you're not going to want to miss her play of the week. Thinking ahead to a Monday morning commute, if you stop for a coffee at a Starbucks before work, your favorite location might be closed or closing down. As a part of the company's turnaround plan, the business expects to close over 500 stores across the country. We know of at least 2 in San Antonio as of right now. Location off of 1604 in Blanco and Bandera and Gilboa Road are permanently closed. The company says that the Starbucks app should be updated with the store closures. And it's showtime. The Wonder Theater announced its upcoming 2026 season. Get ready for My Fair Lady, Cabaret, Matilda, Addams Family, and a soon-to-be-announced Director's Choice show. There will also be 5 student productions in 2026. All shows will take place at the theater's location inside the Wonderland of the Americas Mall in Balcones Heights. For ticket information and to see a full list of entertainment, just go to KSAT.com. And taking a look at live cam, finally dipping under 80 at 10:41 in the evening.
And JP, tomorrow is going to be another similar day, especially for some folks taking their kids to school in the morning. It's going to be a little chilly for some folks. You're starting off with your temperatures in the 60s, especially for the bus stop. They might want to have a light jacket, especially because tomorrow in San Antonio, 67 degrees. Still seeing those temperatures jump back up to the 90s in the afternoon because that humidity is going to be back in the morning, not necessarily in the afternoon. But we're going to start to see more rain chances return as we go into the weekend, next weekend. I'll break down your futurecast of what you need to know after the break.
Welcome back. Your time 10:44, and Shelby, you've been telling us there's rain chances this week that are slim, but they also pick back up over the weekend.
Yeah, so it's going to start on Friday because of that excess moisture in the Pacific and even in the Atlantic. And here's a look at the rain chances for San Antonio this week. Just a 10% chance and a 20 as we go into the weekend. Yes, that's low, but it's San Antonio. We are still in that drought, so any chance of rain is good rain at this point. So yes, it's still a week away and things can change ever so slightly, but I still want to give you that heads up of what you can expect as we go into next weekend. So this area of high pressure, that's just been sitting in areas of Mexico and moved into areas of Texas today. And that's going to continue to be the weather maker today and tomorrow, still allowing for some drier conditions as we go throughout the next few days. But then what we're watching is this low pressure system that's going to try to make its way to San Antonio, but ultimately it's going to go just to the north in areas of the Panhandle, but it can still bring that cloud coverage tomorrow afternoon. But here's the other thing. This low pressure system is actually going to travel through portions of the country and even have that chance to push out Imelda and Humberto as we go into Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, allowing for really no landfall as we go throughout the weekend for the Carolinas. However, they still have the chance to get some excess tropical moisture for folks over there. But here's the thing, as that low pressure system pushes that away, it also can have that chance to get some of that moisture looped back into areas of San Antonio on Friday and even as we go into Saturday. So that's why we're tracking a few chances of some showers starting Friday afternoon going into Saturday, but we're not expecting a big washout. Yes, it's still a week away, so things can change ever so slightly, but this is a look at the rainfall potential over the next 7 days. And even as you look into areas of South Central Texas, that kind of discoloration, that's the rainfall totals we're expecting. Higher amounts as you go into the east, and all that purple color you see closer to the Bahamas and even near Bermuda, that's because of the tropical systems having an impact over there. So we do still have Humberto and we now have Imelda. That was a named tropical storm earlier today. I believe it was about the 1 or 4 p.m. update. And here's the track. Now, Imelda is expected to just skirt along the coast, but it is going to make a sharp turn to the right. Now, this could also have an impact on Humberto, but here's the thing. It appears that it might be further along and move faster than Imelda. So they might cross paths, but might not necessarily interact with each other. But Imelda is expected to make almost the exact same path as Humberto as it goes off into the Atlantic, not really having too much of an impact for the United States. But if you do have friends and family in Florida or even the Carolinas, they can still get some of the rip currents and the waves associated with the tropical system. So they might still want to be precautious and be aware about what they can expect later on as we get into the weekend, even into the weekend. But for us, just that 10 to 20% chance of rain, not expecting any big flooding issues or anything like that. It's just some much needed light showers, maybe even a thunderstorm or two as we get into next weekend. But otherwise, that's really, JP, the main weather story other than temperatures waking up in the 60s, which I know you are very excited about because I know you just want to have that pumpkin spice latte.
I'm not excited about getting up to enjoy it, but once I'm already awake, obviously the cooler temperatures will be very nice.
Yes.
Thanks for that, Shelby. Now, shifting gears over to sports, I think everyone had high hopes for Texas A&M, but I don't think they knew that they would be this good or be playing at the level they are, and now they're getting some respect for it as well.
Hey, when you have a quarterback that plays from the beginning of the season to the lengths of the way, that'll do good for you. Texas A&M checking in at number 6 in the latest AP poll. We have more coming up on the Aggies and a preview of our sit down with one of the best running backs in college football, Robert Henry Jr. Also the latest from the Cowboys-Packers game in Dallas after the break. Welcome back. Here's the latest from Dallas between the Cowboys and the Packers. Green Bay's Brandon McManus split the uprights on a 53-yard field goal to send this game to overtime. Dallas has now gone to overtime in all of their home games this year, and this one's been electric. George Pickens, by the way, has over 130 receiving yards. A ton of emotion being showed by both sides. Again, this game is in overtime, tied 37-37.
Great win. Anytime you get an SEC win, it's a great win. For us to start 4-0 for the first time since 2016, that was huge. We're happy. We're 4-0. We did the things we needed to do to win today, and I just think the ceiling for this team is a lot higher if we could figure out how to go put 4 quarters together, and so that'll be our challenge heading into next week.
Texas A&M is up to number 6 nationally after beating Auburn 16-10 and outgaining the Tigers 414-177 yesterday. As you can tell by the final score and what Coach Elko alluded to, the Aggies made a lot of mistakes. Nonetheless, 6 is the highest the Aggies have been ranked since 2022. Well, the UTSA football team went into its bye week with a big win over Colorado State. And after week 5, senior running back Robert Henry Jr. still leads the FBS in rushing yards per game. We sat down with Henry to see how he's feeling about his incredible start to the season. Here's a sneak peek.
Made me feel good, it's just a blessing, and hard work pays off, and it shows most definitely.
Do you believe you deserve Heisman Trophy recognition?
Yes, but no, because it's still a lot of work to do, but I definitely should be in the conversation, but I mean, if I'm not, it's cool, I'm just going to keep working, keep my head down.
Okay, that's not what your main focus is right now, but what would that mean to the offensive line and the offense here at UTSA to get that type of recognition?
Man, it'll mean a lot, especially to, the offensive linemen, because, they blocking for the number 1 running back in the nation. So I think it'll mean a lot to them, and I'm definitely going to be appreciative of it.
That full interview airing on KSAT Sports Now this week. Now, this was the moment Europe retained the Ryder Cup. Shane Lowry sinks his putt on U.S. soil for the win. And before this, the U.S. locked in and made it really, really interesting, rallying from a 7-point deficit. However, that putt by Lowry putting an end to a potential win by the Americans. And an absolutely electric Game 4 today between the Fever and Aces. On the brink of elimination, Kelsey Mitchell and Aaliyah Boston, led the way for Indiana with a combined 49 points to defeat Las Vegas 90-83, setting up a decisive Game 5 on Tuesday night. And in a stunning turn of events, 4-seed Phoenix upset 1-seed Minnesota in the West semis, so the Mercury will play for the WNBA title. Okay, it's time now to hit the road with our Ancira Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Play of the Week.
Play action. Stone Earl has it batted down. Dune Smith sees it bobble around. It's an interception. Wow. That one stayed in the air forever and eventually is pulled in by Michael Bliss Jr.
Right here in San Antonio, Incarnate Word hosting Abilene Christian, a top 25 FCS matchup. Stone Earl's pass is batted down and the ball hits off of 3 players before Michael Bliss Jr. swoops in for the interception. Incarnate Word won 38-7. We showed you this play yesterday. Unbelievable. So for that heads-up play, you Bliss Jr. get our Ancira Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Play of the Week. How about that interception? Have you seen one like that before, JP?
Not as many bounces as that one. We've seen crazy plays, and whenever the ball gets tipped at the line of scrimmage, obviously crazy things can happen. But yes. I really had to zoom in here and look in to see the ball ping-ponging off so many defenders.
And it stayed up, and he got it.
Landed it right into his hands, and it was a stop on the goal line. Bend but don't break defense.
That's right.
Thanks for that, Mary. We'll be right back. Looking ahead, we at KSAT hope you join us Saturday, October 11th at the Rock La Cantera for Light the Night. Hundreds of lanterns will be illuminating the sky to celebrate and honor and remember people impacted by blood cancer. Our Daniela Ibarra is emceeing the event. We have more info on ksatcommunity.com.
And for your weather to plan the week, you're waking up with temperatures in the 60s, peak temperature in the mid to low 90s. Rain chances return to the forecast next weekend and really low humidity to start the week. And it's going to be a beautiful start to the week.
We got some late sports news.
Yeah, we can't leave you guys hanging right now. The Cowboys lead 40-37 in overtime.
We are running out of time, so it's time for the Packers. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for joining us.